What if the last customer you served after breaking every rule turned out to be Keanu Reeves and that single choice flipped your entire life upside down? Picture this: a weary waitress risks her job to feed a mysterious stranger, only to find a wad of $100 bills left behind and a chance at a future she never imagined. What do you think happens next? Does she lose everything, or does she gain a destiny beyond her wildest dreams? Drop a 1 in the comments if you think this ends in heartbreak, or a 2 if you believe it's the start of something incredible. Oh, and while you're at it, tell me, where are you watching from right now? Share your city or country below. If this story hooks you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for motivation for success. We've got more inspiring tales like this coming your way. Now, let's dive into this roller coaster of loss, hope, and jaw-dropping surprises that all began in a flickering diner on a quiet night. In the dim glow of the Aurora Diner, where neon lights hum a faint, restless tune against the vast, swallowing darkness outside, a story unfolds that cuts deeper than the surface of a late-night meal. The air hangs heavy with the mingled scents of bitter coffee, sticky syrup, and the ghosts of sizzling bacon grease, clinging to every breath like a memory that won't fade. Plastic seats groan under the weight of exhaustion as the clock overhead carves its relentless path toward midnight, each tick a quiet hammer striking the fragility of hope. Here, amid the flickering shadows, stands Mia Adams, a woman whose soul has been poured into the singular, sacred task of shielding her 8-year-old daughter, Lily, from the jagged edges of a world that offers little mercy. Her body aches, a 10-hour shift etching itself into her bones, her swollen feet pleading for reprieve. Yet Mia presses on, driven by a love so fierce it drowns out her weariness, tethered to a dream that dances just beyond her grasp. Lily's dream of cheerleading camp, a fragile spark Mia would trade her last breath to keep alight. At the diner's edge, she fusses with sugar dispensers, the sharp sting of lemon disinfectant clawing at her senses, the bitter aftertaste of stale coffee a dull ache on her tongue. She pauses, hands trembling as they knead her throbbing ankles, and her mind drifts to that morning's plea, Lily's voice, bright with innocent yearning, asking, "Mom, can I go to camp this summer? Coach says I'm getting better new stunts, Mom, I could learn them." Mia's heart swells, a yes clawing to break free, but it's shackled by the cold truth of an empty bank account. The camp's cost looms like a mountain she cannot climb, yet she gathers every crumpled dollar, every worn 5 from her tips, stitching them together like a patchwork prayer, hoping it might one day be enough to lift Lily's spirit into the sky she longs to soar through. Then, a chime pierces the stillness. The door swings open at 11:45 p.m., a violation of the diner's unyielding code. Mia's pulse quickens. Closing time nears, and her manager, Will, wields his rules like a blade, slicing away latecomers after 11:30. She braces herself, words of refusal forming, but they dissolve as her eyes meet the stranger's silhouette, tall, cloaked in a low baseball cap and a jacket that whispers of miles traveled. Beneath the harsh fluorescent glare, his dark hair catches the light, a quiet radiance pulsing through the gloom. His shoulders sag with a bone-deep fatigue, his gaze carrying a weight that tugs at something primal within her. Duty screams to turn him away, to lock the door and obey the camera's cold, watchful eye. Will's morning ritual of scrutiny is a guillotine she knows too well. But her heart, that tender, defiant compass, overrules her fear. She sees a man not just hungry, but adrift, and in that moment, she chooses mercy over safety. "Come on in," she calls, voice steady despite the tremor in her chest, clutching a laminated menu like a lifeline. "We're closing soon, but I can get you something simple if you're quick." His response is soft, a murmur of gratitude. "Thank you, I'd appreciate anything you can spare." And it strikes her like a half-remembered echo, familiar yet elusive, a voice from a dream or a screen she can't place. She brushes it off. Exhaustion toys with the mind and guides him to a shadowed booth, far from the prying windows. "What can I get you?" she asks, notepad poised, though her grip betrays her nerves. "Black coffee," he says, "and whatever you think's good for a late dinner, I trust you." She suggests waffles, crisp with legend, paired with fried chicken, and he nods, a small smile breaking through his weariness. Then, unexpectedly, he asks, "Do you have kids?" His eyes linger on her name tag, curiosity gentle but piercing. "Yes," she answers, warmth flooding her. "A daughter, Lily. 8 years old. Cheerleading's her whole world. I'm working doubles to send her to camp." His reply, "She sounds amazing," lands like a bomb, and Mia's smile deepens as she retreats to the kitchen, praying Harold, the cook, won't curse her for this breach. He grumbles, but his loyalty to her heart's vastness silences his protest, and soon the air fills with the scent of sizzling batter and meat. She delivers the plate: golden waffles, tender chicken, a side of rich syrup, and he looks up, eyes glistening with something raw. "Thank you, Mia. You didn't have to do this, not this late. It's been a long day." Light spills across his face, and recognition crashes over her like a tidal wave. Keanu Reeves, the man of quiet legend, sits before her, a secret unveiled in the humdrum of her world. Her heart stumbles, but she masks it, retreating to preserve his peace. Later, he leaves a stack of bills, hundreds, not mere change, whispering, "Keep it, and thank you," before vanishing into the night. Mia stands alone, the weight of his gift trembling in her hands, a lifeline to Lily's dream forged from a single, reckless kindness that defied the rules and dared to see a soul in need. As Mia's trembling fingers brush the crumpled bills left on the table, her breath catches. A cascade of $100 notes unfolds before her, far beyond the modest tip she'd braced for. Over $500, a sum that crashes into her like a lifeline, more than half the cost of Lily's cheerleading camp. Tears sting her eyes, a gasp escaping her lips as gratitude and disbelief collide. She lifts her gaze, desperate to pour out her thanks, but the booth is empty. Keanu Reeves has melted into the night, leaving only the fleeting glow of red taillights fading down the desolate street. Locking the diner's door, she stands in the suffocating silence, the weight of darkness pressing against her racing heart. Excitement dances with dread. She knows Will's stern eyes will scour the security footage come morning, and yet, deep in her marrow, she'd make the same choice again, even for a handful of coins. The next day dawns with a shrill alarm at 5:45 a.m., piercing a night fractured by restless thoughts of Lily twirling under summer lights at camp. Mia's body moves on autopilot: eggs scrambled, fruit cups portioned, Lily's boundless energy filling their cramped kitchen with hope. "Mom, coach says my toe touches are getting so good I might make the advanced team." Lily beams, her feet drumming the car floor as Mia drops her at school, brushing her cheek with a promise, "We'll make camp happen, somehow." The words taste of last night's windfall, but they sour with the gnawing fear of what awaits at the diner. Stepping inside Aurora, Mia's stomach plummets. Will looms by the office, the security tape frozen on his screen, her late-night defiance captured in grainy clarity. "Care to explain this, Mia?" "Past 11:30. His voice cuts, edged with a reluctant sorrow. She meets his gaze, steady despite the quake within. "He was tired, hungry, I couldn't turn him away." Will's jaw tightens, frustration carving lines into his face. "I've warned you. Insurance won't cover after-hours risks. We're not a charity. You're fired, uniform and name tag, now." The verdict lands like a sledgehammer, splintering dreams of camp, rent, stability. She pleads 7 years of loyalty, punctuality, but he looks away, unyielding. The name tag's pin bites her finger as she peels it off, a sharp echo of the ache in her chest. Tears blur the curious stares of early patrons as she stumbles into the parking lot, the ground beneath her dissolving. Her phone buzzes, an unknown number. Expecting a creditor's cold demand, she answers, voice quivering. "Hello." A calm voice replies, "Mia Adams. This is on behalf of Keanu Reeves. He'd like to meet you this morning at the Redwood City Performing Arts Center." Her breath snags, eyes darting to Will's silhouette in the diner window. 30 minutes, she manages, and the call ends. One heartbeat she's jobless, the next summoned by a man whose name echoes in lights a surreal pivot she can't grasp. She drives off, the diner shrinking in her rearview, a chapter slamming shut. The Performing Arts Center rises before her, all glass and steel, its elegance mocking her rumpled uniform. Classical notes drift through the air, lilies scenting the foyer as her sneakers squeak on marble. Guided to a sunlit office, she finds Keanu Reeves' black sweater, warm smile, a faint cedar whiff calming her frayed nerves. "Thank you for coming," he says, rising. "Last night, you chose kindness over rules. That's rare." Her cheeks burn. "You looked exhausted, I couldn't close the door on you." He leans in, eyes alight. "I'm building a foundation here, youth programs for kids like your Lily. I've tested people incognito. Most curry favor when they spot me. You didn't. You saw a person, not a name. That's why I want you as Director of Community Engagement. Your heart, your grit, it's what we need." Mia reels, fired an hour ago, now offered a role with a salary doubling her diner wage, benefits, scholarships for Lily. "Why me?" she whispers. "Because you care when no one's watching," he replies. "Think it over by tomorrow, fate's funny that way." She leaves, clutching contracts, sunlight blinding, hope warring with doubt. At home, pacing her worn apartment, Lily's text practice was great, Mom. Spurs her forward. No degree, no nonprofit savvy, yet a path gleams, purpose meeting passion. By morning, she accepts, heart pounding as a new life unfurls, born from a single, defiant kindness. As Mia pulls up to the park near their weathered apartment, the very spot where Lily's tiny hands first mastered cartwheels, the leaves whisper secrets in the crisp air, and a shiver ripples through the fading daylight. Lily bounds from the car, her ponytail a wild arc of joy, her voice bubbling over. "Mom, you're glowing, what happened?" she asks, spinning in place, a whirlwind of curiosity. Mia kneels, meeting her daughter's bright eyes, her own brimming with unshed tears. "Sweetheart, remember when I promised we'd find a way to cheer camp? What if I told you it's not just camp but a whole year of practice, expert coaching, maybe even competitions?" Lily's gasp is a spark igniting the dusk. "For real?" Mia nods, voice thick. "It's real. I got a new job today, running programs for kids' sports, arts, cheer, all of it. And the man behind it? Keanu Reeves. He walked into the diner last night, and I served him after hours. That one choice changed everything. He's building a foundation for families like us, your camp, and so much more, it's ours now." Lily flings herself into Mia's arms, a squeal of "This is the best day ever, I love you," melting into a sob as Mia clutches her tight. "I love you too, baby. But listen, I got fired for helping him. It stings, losing that steady ground, yet it led me here, a hidden gift in the hurt." Lily's solemn nod meets Mia's kiss on her forehead. "But this job's better, right? For more people." "Yes," Mia whispers, "so much more." A week dissolves in a haze, and Mia steps into the Reeves Community Foundation building, nerves thrumming beneath her skin. Steel beams and vast windows frame a modern sanctuary. The lobby glows with photos of kids dancing, shooting hoops, bowing violins beneath the bold vow, where hope becomes action. Elena, an assistant, guides her to a conference room where a wooden table holds a circle of warm faces and jars of fruit-infused water. Keanu sits at the head, his smile a quiet anchor. "Good morning," he says, voice steady. "Welcome Mia Adams, our Director of Community Engagement. Her compassion, her selflessness, it's the heartbeat we need to connect with this community." Applause ripples, soft and sincere, and Mia's cheeks flush with a gratitude she can't voice. The meeting unfolds after school havens for struggling families, scholarships for sports and arts, a growing fund for dreams like Lily's. Keanu's vision deepens. We're transforming old spaces, diners, shops into community hubs. We've bought a chain here in Redwood City. Mia, you'll link families to these programs, work with coaches, make it real. Her pulse leaps. Diners, like Aurora, her lost battleground, now a canvas for redemption. Touring the sites with Keanu, Mia pauses at Aurora's boarded windows, its neon sign a dying flicker. Nostalgia stings the echo of her firing, and she wonders what will think of her rise. Keanu's voice cuts through, a little vision, that's all it takes. Basketball nets, a stage, a teaching kitchen. It'll be incredible. Tears well as she nods. Life shifts so fast, thank you for this. His hand rests on her shoulder, gentle. You earned it, Mia. You're rewriting countless futures. Months blur, meetings, calls, outreach, and Mia blooms in her role, purpose replacing the monotony of waitressing. Lily thrives, coaching little ones with a kindness mirroring her mother's, her confidence a quiet triumph. One afternoon, hunched over spreadsheets, Mia's stomach twists, funds shift inexplicably, tens of thousands undocumented. This isn't routine, it's a shadow-threatening scandal, collapse. She sees Lily's grin, the kids' trusting faces, her own past gamble. With clammy hands, she dials Keanu. Something's wrong with the finances, can we meet now? In his office, blinds shut, she lays out the evidence. His face hardens, then softens. I suspected this, not a test, but real tampering. Thank you, Mia. Relief floods her. What now? A full audit, he vows. We won't let the kids lose this. At the emergency board meeting, Mia stands firm, detailing the discrepancies as the CFO fidgets. He confesses shifting funds to rush programs, betting on future donations. His tears beg forgiveness, but the damage teeters on illegality. He steps down the board, turns to Mia for interim financial oversight. Shock widens her eyes, trust, immense and daunting. Keanu pulls her aside. You're my rock here, always choosing right over easy. Tears prick. I'll try for the kids. Weeks of grueling work follow, new safeguards, donor talks, every cent tracked. Tumbling mats, art supplies, uniforms emerge from her labor, echoes of her diner struggles now lifting hundreds. Lily shines, leading peers, dreaming of gear drives for the needy. Then, in the foundation's foyer, Will appears worn, hesitant. Mia, the diner's gone. I need work, heard you're hiring. Pain flares her firing sting, yet his weary eyes mirror her old fears. She listens, his kids, his loss. We need kitchen experience for teen training, she offers. I'll vouch for you. His voice breaks. After how I treated you, I'll make it right. Her smile is soft. Someone gave me a second chance. I'll pay it forward. 2 weeks later, Will is hired as a coordinator in the first Aurora Diner conversion project. Mia supervises him closely at first, but soon sees the sincerity in his efforts. He helps remodel the old diner kitchen into a teaching lab for young culinary students, many of whom come from families that can't afford fancy cooking programs. Mia watches Will instruct them on basic kitchen safety, flipping pancakes with the same spatula he once used at Aurora Diner. Only this time, He is not scolding employees for staying late or giving away extra food. He is empowering kids to follow their dreams, maybe to become chefs or bakers or entrepreneurs of their own diners one day. Months slide by, brimming with small triumphs: a teenage boy overcoming his shyness by learning guitar through the Foundation's music program, a group of cheerleaders winning a regional competition thanks to specialized training, a basketball team forming among kids who previously did not have a place to practice. And always, at the heart of it all, stands Mia, offering kindness and structure, listening to stories, bridging gaps, ensuring that no rule is so rigid it crushes a kid's potential. Then the day arrives for the grand opening of the brand new Aurora Community Center, the flagship project that started in the place Mia used to wait tables. The parking lot is filled with bright flags and a small stage for speeches. Mia stands behind the stage curtain, adjusting Lily's hair bow for her upcoming cheer performance. Keanu Reeves, wearing his signature warmth and humility, is already on stage speaking to a crowd of parents, kids, and local officials. Mia steps up to the microphone next. The afternoon sun is warm on her cheeks, the air rich with excitement and the faint smell of freshly popped popcorn from a volunteer's stand. Her eyes scan the crowd. She spots Will standing with his family, Lily with her cheer squad, the CFO who confessed to financial juggling now volunteering to teach a free accounting class for teens, and a throng of kids who can't wait to jump on the brand new equipment. She takes a steadying breath and begins, "Thank you, everyone, for coming today. I used to work in this exact building, back when it was just a diner and I was just a waitress. But thanks to a single late-night encounter, I lost that job and gained a destiny I never saw coming. One small act of kindness changed my life. It led me to this foundation, to all of you, and to a future where no kid is turned away from their passion, be it cheerleading, cooking, dancing, basketball, painting, anything." Emotion tightens Mia's throat. She pictures the day Will fired her, the phone call she received outside in the cold, the first meeting with Keanu Reeves where he showed her the job offer. Never doubt that kindness matters. It can crack open doors you didn't even know existed. It can guide you from rock bottom to a place you never dared dream about. If my journey can teach you anything, let it be this: follow the tug of your heart, even if it seems risky. You never know if the stranger you help tonight might turn around and help you build a whole new world tomorrow. Applause swells, and Mia steps aside to let Lily and the other children perform a cheerful dance routine, bright pom-poms swirling in the air. Keanu joins Mia at the edge of the stage, leaning in quietly. "You did it, Mia. This center is going to transform this neighborhood. And you've more than proved how much a single compassionate leader can accomplish." She smiles, tears threatening to spill. "No, we did it. This entire community did it. Thank you for believing in me, and in what this could be." He pats her shoulder. "The thanks is all mine. Without you, I might have just been another person throwing money around. You gave it heart." In that moment, everything becomes crystal clear for Mia. This is more than just a job. It is her calling. Seeing children run across the newly built basketball court, hearing families exclaim over the free tutoring services, watching Lily mentor younger cheerleaders, it all reminds Mia how deeply a single kindness can resonate. The wave of change doesn't stop at one good deed, it ripples outward into neighborhoods, schools, and families in need. Later that evening, as the sun drifts below the skyline, Mia stands in the center's quiet courtyard. Lily runs up, sweaty but exhilarated from the cheer performance. "Mom, do you think we can do this again in other towns? Like Redwood City isn't the only place that needs help." Mia ruffles Lily's hair. "That is the plan. Keanu wants to expand. Imagine community centers all over the country, each one giving kids a place to belong." Lily beams. That sounds incredible. When the final wave of visitors departs, Mia lingers. The overhead lights illuminate the once familiar walls of the diner, now filled with motivational posters and sports trophies. She can still smell a faint trace of the old grill under fresh paint. In one corner, a large mural depicts children holding hands, a swirl of color and hope. As she locks up, Mia rests a hand on the door. Her reflection in the glass shows a woman who has come so far from the uncertain, overworked waitress who lost her job in this very place. She thinks of all the kids who will enter this door each day and find acceptance, skill building, and unshakable support. She thinks of Keanu Reeves, whose generosity made it all possible, and whose personal search for genuine compassion led him to her. She closes her eyes, sending a silent thanks into the night air. The next day, on Motivation for Success, the Foundation's new media channel, Mia shares her story in a short video clip. She speaks directly to the camera, voice trembling with emotion. Sometimes the greatest challenges we face turn out to be doors to new worlds. I lost a job, but found a calling. I worried about paying for my daughter's cheer camp, and ended up running an entire program that helps thousands of kids pursue their passions. A single meal served after hours opened up a universe of possibility. She takes a breath, her words catching in her throat. If there's one thing I want you to remember, it's this: never underestimate the power of compassion. Whether you're the one giving it or the one receiving it, it can transform lives in ways you'd never expect. It certainly transformed mine. Then she smiles, tears shining but not falling. Now, if this story has touched your heart, please subscribe to our channel, Motivation for Success, so we can keep sharing these moments of hope. And tell me, where are you watching from? I want to know how far these ripples of kindness can travel. Let's spread this message to every city, every neighborhood, and every heart. As the video ends, viewers can see images of children laughing, playing, learning, dancing, growing. All made possible by a single mother with an open heart, a global star who longed to do genuine good, and a shared vision that kindness might just be the most powerful force in the world. Even after the applause dies down and the lights dim, the echo of that vision remains. Because from the outside, it might have looked like Mia saved Keanu Reeves from going hungry one random evening. But in truth, it was Keanu Reeves who helped an entire community step into a brighter future, led by a waitress who simply believed that nobody should be turned away in their moment of need. And that, dear viewers, is how one act of compassion can move mountains of difficulty, open doors of opportunity, and light the spark for generations of dreams yet to come. Thank you for being part of this story. If it inspired you or reminded you that hope can blossom from the most unlikely places, do not forget to leave a comment and subscribe. After all, every big dream starts with a single step of kindness. Where will yours take you next?